There was a man who had continuous negative thoughts bothering him a lot. Whatever he did, he could not control his negative thoughts. So he went to the doctor and asked him, "Doctor, I have a problem. I have negative thoughts bothering me. Please, can you give me some medicine or give me a treatment?" The doctor said, "Hey man, start thinking positively, man, then the negative thoughts will go away." But he said, "No, I have tried my best. I am unable to curtail my negative thoughts." So doctor was very bugged. So he simply wrote a tonic and gave it to him and said, "Have this tonic, medicine, but whatever happens, don't think negative thoughts is your problem. So you don't think of monkeys, then it will be fine." So this man went back home. The moment he took the medicine, he started thinking of monkeys and he told himself, "I should not think of monkeys, I should not think of monkeys," and the monkeys kept coming back to him. So he went back running to the doctor and the doctor said, "When you have thoughts of monkey coming to you, all you have to do is think of a donkey." So when there are negative thoughts, put yourself into something positive, like get into a sports activity, do something which will make you happy, pursue an art or a talent, go and spend time with other people, go and help somebody so that you find joy in it. When you do all of it, automatically the negative thoughts go away. So that's how we need to manage it. When I have a stress, if I keep idling a lot, which I do now in this COVID times, I need to get up and do something which will keep myself busy. There is a lot of time when I have told myself no time in the past when I was really hurrying with all of those things. Now I have a little more time than, because I don't travel anymore. Even if I work from home. So with that time, can I devote some exclusive time for my happiness and my growth, my health, my peace? So that's called the exclusive me time. I can put myself into a sports activity even now if possible. I can do exercising, I can sit in silence, I can listen to songs, take that hobby which I left it long ago. I have always been wanting to do that but never found the time to do it. Pick that and start doing it. Maybe the browsing could give us a lot of new things to learn about. Now all these things is the me time that I can gift myself in the present. Then automatically the stress will go down because I have devoted my life and time for something that is more positive. And also with respect to the future, this is the time for me to plan. See, all those who are working and giving their best in the present have opportunity in this world. There are still opportunities for a lot of people in every industry where we want to shine. It's only we need to think beyond, go beyond and see what else I can do. So far we could have done a mechanical job which we were not interested in at all. Now is the time to see what I am passionate about, where there is future, where there is opportunity, and start working on those lines so that I have a brilliant future. And also what I do is think about the past. What is the mistake that I did in the past which I can correct now so that I can bounce back and get ready for the future. Whenever that corona goes away and we are all set to leave, I should say get set and get into the future to do all that I have planned during this time. So with respect to the past, what I need to understand is a trauma or something that I did to somebody or something that somebody did to me or told me, a failure, all these things keep bothering me now because I have time for idle thoughts. And when it comes to the past, when I think about all the positive things, I am happy. But what does the mind do? The mind picks up all the negative stuff of the past, all that betrayal and challenges and failures that we have faced in the past. So what I need to do about the past is, where did the mistake happen? One is to see how I can correct it and move on, because I understand with respect to the academics and the exams and the studies that we do, we first learn and then we take the test. But with respect to life, we always first take the test and then comes the learning. So with my past, what do I learn? What is that one message that I got from that past traumatic, or what message do I get from that past challenge of mine? I just need to focus on that. Instead of looking at the problem, can I look at the solution? So in the present, I take the message from the past and correct it and wherever possible I need to forgive myself and forgive others for the mistakes that happen. We all keep erring, we all keep learning from our mistakes. I don't have to be harsh on myself for all that mistakes, and once I forgive myself, I am ready to forgive other people also. So, in the present I need to be peaceful and happy and do something about my future, so that I replace anxiety and uncertainty about the future with a lot of hope and success. And with respect to the past, can I just forgive and forget what happened, take the message from there and keep moving on. And in the present, can I spend more positive time with other people? Am I pulling other people's energy down, or am I lifting the energy of other people? Because we need positive vibes now. We need people who will give us confidence and hope and motivation now. Let me motivate myself first. I need to be self-motivated to motivate somebody else. Similarly, whether it is our own loved ones, our kith and kin, our relatives or friends who are elsewhere, can I just make that call and talk about happy memories and a lot of positive things and inspire each other? There are wonderful ways of being a better me to face during this pandemic time. Can I make use of it to the best and give my best, because present is potent. I am not going to waste one single day sulking, worrying. I am going to start the day with a smile and do extraordinary things. Are they linked? Does it happen? Is the question. Can I be generous? I think that it is the king who will throw all the gold coins at his countrymen and give it to all of them, and that shows his generosity. I am not a queen who is going to take off those diamond necklaces and give it off to some random women in the town, which means I can't be generous this lifetime, is it? No, it is not like that. Fortunately, when it comes to generosity, it is not about how much money I have, it is about how big a heart I have. There was a king. This king was a miser. This is one example where he has a lot of money but doesn't really enjoy giving anything to anybody. So, he was a miser. He was walking one day with his minister along the riverside. As they were walking, he slipped and fell into the river. They both panicked. The minister immediately said, my lord, please give me your hand, give me your hand. He thought he will hold his hand and grab him to the shore. But the king is never in the habit of giving. So, he did not even understand, it was not there in his vocabulary, and he kept struggling inside the water for breath. And then the smart minister thought, hey, I know my king better than that. So, immediately he said, my lord, please take my hand, and immediately the king snatched his hand and he could grab him and save him. This is a typical example where I don't know how to give, but I am always taking from other people. So, I understand it is not about taking and giving based on the kind of money that I have. So, I know it is not how much I have, it is how big a heart I have that is important for generosity. Why do I need to be generous, and what is generosity as such? When I can show kindness, love, goodness, compassion, money, time, and I can give all of it to other people, then it is generosity. But yes, there is one catch to it. It has to be unconditional and without any expectation. See, a mom takes care of the children, their basic needs, but when that mom sacrifices her life, sacrifices even that delicious food for the sake of the children, sacrifices her dreams and ambitions in order to meet their own, if she does all of it, and if she has the objective of what they will do in return for me when they grow up, then there is no generosity. But a mother is always unconditional and she has no expectation. Generosity goes without expectation. If a man is donating a lot of money to an orphanage, going and spending time in an old age home, educating children, giving a lot of employment to poor people, and all of this with the objective of either getting recognition or publicity or some favor from somebody or getting some other service in return from the beneficiary itself, then that is not generosity. Generosity is basically love, plus compassion minus expectation. And when it is in the form of money, I just hand it over to other people. And when it is in the form of time, love, kindness, good words and compassion, there is a lot of intangible benefit that happens out of it. Generosity and happiness. Yes, my generosity makes the other person happy, but I also become happy in the process, because the joy is not in the I, it is in the we, and it is in the I with respect to we. By being in my own world, living as I, me, myself, in my own den, thinking all the time only about my growth and success is not going to make me a better individual. From our young age, there has been some kind of an unconscious conditioning that happens within us. As a young child, when we show charity to somebody, when I want to share my big chocolate bar with somebody, or I go to help somebody on the road, invariably parents would say, you don't get into all that, okay, because they are worried that we should not get cheated. So as young children, they would have told us, don't get into all this. When you become big, when you start earning, you can help other people. Now you do your duty. You behave like a small child, and somewhere we grow like that, and when we can actually start giving people, we are becoming very self-centered. Virtual world doesn't teach us empathy, love and compassion. It's only with real people that we learn all of it. Yes, we learn the good and the bad. When we learn the bad, we know how not to be bad and how to be good. And with every lesson, the children only become better human beings. So it's not in the I, but it's in the we that we gain real happiness, and joy of giving is in experiencing it. Everything comes out of the experience that we get in life. And what are some of the ways by which we can be generous? I would put it into three aspects. The first aspect is being generous in our everyday life. If there is a chartered accountant, can he do free auditing and accounts for an NGO? If there is a doctor, can he treat at least a few deserving poor patients free of cost? If there is a knowledge subject expert, can that go towards teaching and giving free tuitions to children, because in the school they really don't understand the concept, and if somebody is able to help them and make them feel and understand what their potential is and give them a direction, we would have not just given a fish to them, we would have taught them fishing, a livelihood, a future for those deserving kids. A Bombay cartwala, an old man stricken with poverty, an old man in Mumbai who pulls his cart every day for his livelihood, gets very meager amount from his work. But what he does is, at night he goes to the police station, takes unclaimed dead bodies with their permission from the mortuary and takes it to the cremation ground free of cost. That is his noble gesture towards the society. A food vendor on the street, at least to 2 poor people he gives food free of cost. A girl who went through a tough time getting a bone marrow transplanted when she had cancer is today spreading awareness for bone marrow transplant. So what is it that I can do in my own life which can be of help to somebody else? This is what I do in my daily life. And the second aspect is in good times. When we have a celebration, a festival, a good occasion at home, for all the food that we eat and celebrate, can a portion of it go to somebody so that they enjoy that food which they would otherwise never get at all? Can I give that compassion to other people? And in tough times, can I help people who need it? In this pandemic, how many people need somebody to just talk to them, listen to them? They are all starved of emotions, positive love coming to them. Can we give that to people? Yes, that maid of mine has not come to work for 4 months because they were not allowed to during the lockdown. Yes, she stayed at home and I had to do my work, but they have a tough time. So can I send the salary home to them and take care of their basic needs, because they are starving even for food without that? That is a compassion that I can show during tough times. Think that somebody is going through a tough time. Can I help you in some way? In tough times, when we go and help people, they will never forget it. because in happy times there are enough people around us. When there is a calamity, when there is an untoward incident, that is when we need each other. So, whether it is in our daily life, in good times or in tough times, can we show generosity and get a lot of happiness out of it.